This will be our cold start and walk around video of our fantastic 1937 Ford Coupe trunk back car. Restomod, I guess, is the best way to look at it. So this will be narrated. We're going to go ahead and give it a couple of once arounds. I've got it out into the harsh sunlight where we're going to point out every little bit of her patina. Pushed her out of her spot there next to her Corvette, I guess you could say sibling from the family that she spent the last 28 years with. So we're going to take some temp readings just to show that she is ice cold when we fire her up, just so you can see how well sorted she is. Went through a very extensive, exhaustive, mechanical, both refurbishment as well as, I guess, modernizing, where a lot of electronic modern components were installed to make it a very reliable and safe cruiser. Unfortunately, our late owner, once he commissioned that, became sick, and it was only finished right before he passed away. So in either case, we'll give further information on its history. He actually purchased it from a very good friend of his who he actually knew from high school, and that gentleman actually built it front to back, inside and out, received it essentially in kit form, pieces, everything from the chassis, the body, and then found and built an engine and drivetrain combo for it, the 350 Chevy. Late 70s is what he estimates. Spent a lot of time with us, bringing us up to speed on the car. 350 Chevy motor with a 4-speed Muncie and 9-inch Ford rear end. A lot of real nice stuff on this car. But the really incredible thing is that she looks so period, and really a wolf in sheep's clothing. So now that we've gone around her a couple of times, I'll go ahead and point out the very, very light patina on the car. For the most part, she looks fantastic. The paint was done, he informs us, in Imran. Imran, very, very expensive. Now no longer in existence, was picked up by DuPont, I believe, some years ago. So here is some of the very, very light patina. See here right below the fuel filler area. And my guess is because it is a 90-degree bend down there, the fuel fills very slowly, and a couple times or more the fuel spilled there, and we've got that imperfection now. So it's not a very large area. In fact, so here are my two fingers. That's about how much we're talking about. And then just a little bit below, we've got another very tiny area here. And then over to the side of the license plate, we have another very, very small area, just smaller than my fingernail there. Other than that, really the paint has held up very, very well. A little bit of cracking right here at the corner of the trunk. This little spot. And you can see there's a very, very subtle pinstripe, which the previous owner mentioned to me he had done. Some areas it's more noticeable than others. But that's really pretty much it. There are a couple of very, very small spots right here on the door opening. You'll see there's a tiny, tiny chip just in there, and a tiny, tiny chip right there. And that's really pretty much it. The rest of the car is in really outstanding condition, cosmetically, mechanically, in really almost perfect condition. We have these wide white walls, which are Eagle STs, and they really look the part. The chrome was redone way back in the 80s, believe it or not. Still holds up fantastically well. The car was put together mid-80s. It was a 2-year project. And again, all the bright work looks really, really good. Much better than driver quality. I'd say borderline show quality. But again, those couple of spots of patina are really the only things on there. Mirrors, everything really just fantastic. From really any kind of distance, the car is just in extremely presentable condition. So let me go ahead and show you how well put together she is. Here is our driver's door. Okay, requires a little more effort, but the fit is just absolutely outstanding. And same back here with our trunk. You see the lines really good. And just bring her up and click in, and she is good to go. You see here we've got a little bit of a sound system, got the speakers installed, the amplifier, everything really in outstanding condition here, really like new. Go ahead and grab the hood prop rod. We're going to need that around front. And here is this door. Same superb fit as on the other side. And this one we will just push a little bit harder, but again, fantastic fit all the way around. Take us over here to this beautiful feature where we'll turn this guy and just pop that up. I'm trying to do it one-handed here. And then there is essentially, that's the wolf. As I mentioned before, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. So only in looking underneath the hood do you have any idea of what this beauty really is. So again, really a gentleman's Restomod, if you will. From the outside, looks very, very original. Definitely looks the period. And then when you get under the skin, you see that there's some serious business going on here. So we'll go ahead and prop that right there. And right there. And she is good to go there. For show, for look, for work. And let me go ahead and show you just how well sorted everything is. Open this door. One of the really, really cool things about this car is that it has this fantastic vent feature. When you start to bring the window in, it just ever so slightly starts to open there, and then it stops. There's a detent if you just want to get a little bit of ventilation before it starts to then come down completely. And it does come down so very smoothly. Everything on this car is just butter smooth, down and up. And the detent feature as well, when you're going up, you'll see it sort of stops going up here and then begins the forward motion so that you can close it there as well. Same thing for this back windows. First couple of cranks, you see you can come down, or this one, because it's a little bigger, you go in the opposite direction. And same, you've got that beautiful vent feature there so that you don't get killed with air. But if you bring that in, then she comes down butter smooth to where she stops right there. And I'll go over and I'll demonstrate the same thing on the other side. And same, we'll go ahead and start cranking this guy. And there's your vent feature. There's the detent where it stops. And then it starts coming down again. butter smooth. You can see I'm just holding the lever with two fingers, and I'm bringing it up. Again, she'll get to the point where she'll stop and then go forward. And the same thing with this one on the back here. There's your coming down, and here is the vent feature. Just really, really cool considering this is 1937 technology. So go ahead and bring her down. So we'll go ahead and play with a couple of other things here before I cold start her. It does have this beautiful fold-out windshield feature, and same with everything else. This knob, you just twist that guy, nice and easy, hardly any effort at all, and you see it just cranks right out. Obviously we've got the hood open, but I think it clears. It actually does. So it opens up like so, and you see the extenders are coming together, and it goes all the way to the end, and I think there's pictures of that. But again, absolutely superb. And you'd think with a feature like that when you were up to speed, it would just be as loud as could be, but it's actually an incredible seal. There's a highway video where I am not even having to raise my voice, and we're doing 60 miles an hour, and it's just perfectly quiet. So that works beautifully. We'll go ahead and seal her back up there. And then this lever right here, this guy is to bring this gate open, again for fresh air intake. And again, butter smooth, and you'll see I'm barely gonna put a finger on it and bring it back, but that's really everything on this car has been finessed, has been sorted through, and really it's an absolute joy to drive. Here is the dash, which is in frankly better condition even than the outside, which is in great condition. You can see all the gauges, everything is just in superb order. This old tuning knob, it works really well. Again, everything is smooth. You can see the gauge faces are just superb. Everything is in fantastic condition. All the gauges do indeed work. Odo works. Here is our glove box. You see the stereo is hidden in there. And again, nothing unfinished. You see the compartment is nicely finished the same way. The rest of the interior is done. And really, it looks like it was done yesterday. Everything is just superb. Everything from the headliner to the seats, the carpeting. Everything is really just superb. Show quality. Couple of gentle arm marks right here. Looks worse in this sun than it is, and even lighter on that side. Shelf in the back. Everything is really excellent. Done up in Lincoln gray, according to the previous owner. So let me go ahead and get this guy closed up and show you the process. It's really pretty neat. We do have an electronic fuel pump installed, an auxiliary actually, in case the car's been sitting for a long time, and that has been wired to a toggle with an LED. You see we've also got the cruise control has been installed. Like I said, the owner really, before he passed away, wanted this to be something that he could use all the time. An e-brake, very, very effective e-brake. We have it right now. Here is the release, and here is putting it in. So to start this beauty, for those of you who are not familiar, you take the key and we go counterclockwise, and you'll see this cylinder come out, and that will actually release the locking steering column. Pretty ingenious for 1937. We then turn the switch to on, make sure we are in neutral, and go ahead and fire up the fuel pump, the auxiliary fuel pump, because we have been sitting for a while. So let me show you that she is indeed cold. Go ahead and grab my light. So here's our temp gun, and let me go ahead and shoot the air cleaner for you. Air cleaner's showing us it's 84 degrees. We've been sitting in the sun a little bit. Let me go ahead onto the valve cover. Valve cover is 64 degrees. That's a little more indicative of ambient temperature. And here's the intake. Intake is 55, 54 degrees. So we are definitely cold. So we'll go ahead and hopefully she fires up nice and smoothly. So like I said, we have this on, both the ignition, the main, and then we will fire up the auxiliary pump. And hopefully you can hear that running. And we're in neutral. We'll give her a pump or two. And then this is our start button. And there she goes. And I do have her half choked out per instruction. So we're gonna give her just a little bit of help on the throttle, just to be on the safe side. See our fuel gauge jumped up to half. Our oil pressure gauge is up. Amp meter. And the only thing we don't have anything on is temp, but that'll hopefully come up in a little bit. And let's see if she will idle without assistance since she's being choked. She is. And now you can hear a little bit of that beautiful hot rod rumble. So we'll come on out and we'll go ahead and we'll take a walk around and a listen. See, now that you know how much pressure to put, it closes beautifully. Just as smooth as she opens. Just a beautiful, beautiful rumble. Here in the cabin, I'll go ahead and I'll roll up our driver's window. We still have our rear windows open from before. And you see it's just a lovely, lovely sound. So we will go ahead and let her get warmed up. Then we will have some nice mixed driving videos. Beautiful.